So what you gotta learn, I'm about to teach it to you right now. Everything
Uh-huh.
you know, throw it out the window. Those books, throw them out the window. Please don't throw them out the
Oh,
window. They cost me money. Here's what we
then
need
why?
you to know. People
Okay.
equal money. Money equal weed. Understand?
Sure.
Now you do it.
Uh, people equal money.
Mm-hmm.
People equals weed.
No, 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 no,
Money
no.
equals
No,
weed.
it's... Step back for a minute. They're a bit
Okay.
slow, Spring Bonnie. Obviously, that's the problem. People equal money. Money, follow me, equal weed. Weed needs
Yeah.
bong. Bong gets bought with people's money. How do you get people's money? You make
The
them
people.
eat the pizza.
Uh-huh.
Pizza, arcade, what else? This is 100% you. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Pizza. Right, your
Uh-huh.
turn.
Uh,
Doing great.
people equals money.
Yes,
Money equals weed.
100%.
Something about weed equals bong. Or weed needs bong.
They might need a little bit of work. So you're on my side? I think you're being a little bit stupid here. But yeah. Alright. Basic economics work like this. A guy has a
Mm-hmm.
rock, and another man wants his rock. So he pays him in more rocks for his rock because it's unique. There's nothing that separates our business from a man trading rocks. See, anyone can take a pizza and go eat it at home. What we provide them
Hmm.
is an environment that they can feel safe and comfortable in, while providing them entertainment for their children and drinks for the adults. At the end of the day, we make most of our money actually from beer taps, pizza, and arcade machines. Our profit
Ah.
margins are actually probably pretty high when it comes to those things. After the initial investment, it takes about 6 months for us to actually make the money back on the arcade machines. But pizzas are a 50% profit. Especially if we start doing them homegrown, the pizzas will be better quality and cost cheaper since we buy in bulk for all the restaurants. What's easy to
Mm-hmm.
remember is people equal money, money equal weed.
Yes.
Do you
Sure.
understand?
I understand people equals money
But why do people equal money?
because people have the money.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lefty, it concerns me that if you actually tried, for you could probably be the president. I wouldn't want to be the president. I don't even vote. I didn't even pay taxes till last year. What?
What?
What are you doing? Usually
What?
something bad happens when you say stuff like that. But the whole point I'm trying to get to is that to establish our business, we're going to need a motto. And I'm glad that you're learning from these books, but those books can't tell you personal experience, how to deal with outright customers, how to deal with someone getting the wrong change or a child going missing. Those are the things that you have to learn from the job itself, and you're only going to learn it from experience. So,
Mm.
while we're making the restaurant to your liking, I would like you to manage this restaurant for a week. It'll be a test run to see how you can do. We have staff in the restaurant already. I usually use Spring Bonnie as my security system, so you can use him for a little bit. Not tonight.
Already. Oh.
But by the way, it's kind of impressive to see you work. If I didn't know better, I would call you a different person. Honestly, I never knew you had two sides to you. So, do you want me to go over my plan? I actually, from what you were talking about, I do like the personal touch. You're right, managers will never know how it feels to be on the floor until they work it. So, my plan is people equal money, money equal weed. Weed equal pizza, pizza needs pickles. How do you get the pickles? People?
People.
That's right. Man, you might be a good entrepreneur yet. Maybe. If I work half as hard as you, maybe I'll amount to something. So, who's this? Obviously an employee of yours, I'm guessing. Oh, yeah, they're my new hire for my restaurant. With the location that I'm building, their name's Jade. They're going to be my manager. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
very nice to meet you. My name's Jeremy Fitzgerald.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jade.
Right. So, where'd you meet this one? On the street. Right, Spring Bunny. He just picked someone up off the street. You picked someone up off the street, didn't you, Lefty? It was convenient for me, and they needed the job.
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, we have some business to tend to, and I'm sure that you have plenty to learn from Spring Bonnie. He definitely has a mouth on him. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to talk less and listen more, Jeremy. Huh. I'll keep that in mind. Stop hitting each other around. Is there a reason you act the way you do? I feel like if you care too much, things fall apart. I've always been a go-with-the-flow type of guy. Besides, when you give people restrictions, they're not going to work as hard. When you treat someone as your equal, they're going to strive to impress you, to do better. And I want people to see that if I can succeed, they can. God damn it, man. It's like night and day with you sometimes. Thank you. I do like both of those things. So, I thought it over, and I think it's a great idea to supply your restaurants with fresh produce. I even think I'm going to do it for myself. In my, few locations. I think that it's a welcome improvement. Well, that's good. I'm sure you and Michael been talking. Yeah, I mean, he was a little concerned about the way you were acting, but I explained it to him. Well, what'd you say? That you were high. Oh, come on, man. Don't be such a freaking narc, dude. I thought you were cooler than that. You're gonna tell me you never smoked a J? You never had a bad skunk? You never got danked down with the devil's lettuce? You never dry humped a cactus, licked a toad? Did a strip of acid? Pick shrooms out of cow shit? Well, I changed a lot. Responsibility changes people. And obviously it's changing you. Nothing changes people. I'm a firm believer that if people need to change, they will. But if people don't have to, they'll stay stagnant. Exactly. But I do like the idea. And I'll sell it to you 20% above my cost to make it. And since I'll be supplying all those restaurants, I'll be making a pretty good profit. And since we're good business partners, I'm sure we can work something else out in the future. I was thinking about it. Thinking about what? Well, the whole reason I needed the money from you in the first place was to get foundations built, Well, not really the foundations, you're pouring the concrete. It's just getting the bones of a restaurant. Yeah, it costs money that I don't have. Labor, people. I think that Fazbear hasn't been pulling enough of their part. It's fair enough. Then what are you suggesting, Lefty? You're always full of good ideas. Well, I talked to Michael, and I talked to Elliot in private, and there's no real branch of the company that actually helps build restaurants. Usually what they do is acquire restaurants that failed. It seems to be a going motto for them. It seems like growth is not something they think about on their own. They think about acquiring things that have already fallen under. Like my restaurant, I've had to build from the ground up. Not this one, but the new one. I think that with the money that I have gotten this month and that you have loaned me, I would like to start a new business front. I want to start... Spring Bonnie? Aren't you in a meeting? I can't think of the word. I'm running with carpenter. Carpenter, like someone who like works with wood? Yeah. You want to start a cabinet shop? More like I want to establish a place that can be used by Fazbear for new people to build restaurants on their behalf. Someone who says, I don't know, has a foundation company to lay concrete or insulation. And if you could do all that, why not be able to build the restaurants to code in the cities that they're in? And if Fazbear is not doing it, and they need it to be done someday, why can't we make that money? It's not a bad idea, but that's risky. I gotta build 68 restaurants. I have to. And whether I get them built out of my own dime through another company or one that I start up, almost worth it to employ people to do it for me. Wouldn't you say it's easier to keep it in-house than separate the funds to someone else? You're describing a monopoly. If you're the person who has to contract yourself to build the restaurants, well, not technically. Bonnie, I'm a single owner of the restaurants and I do hold some equity, but it wouldn't be a monopoly on my side. Nope, because Lefty doesn't really own a majority of Fazbear. So his would be more of a solo venture. He could obviously team up with Fazbear if they would like in the future, but as a self-proclaimed man, he could run a separate business if he wants, like you do, Jeremy. Obviously. Then why do you need me? Well, you're more experienced in the field than I am. I would like to do the idea, but I don't have the money or the manpower to do so. And I think it can make money, but I need someone to help me with it. It's a lot of work. But if we can do it all in-house, it saves cost for you. Getting the people would be the hard part. I was thinking that you have experienced people, and there's a fab shop in the city. We could probably find a few people who can build a wall. I mean, I'll even get out there with a square if it helps. So you want to scalp people from my businesses, huh? You've been doing that a lot recently. It's getting on my nerves. Scalping is such a bad word. I would call it investments for the future. I will help you start the business. Name it, obviously. We could be the Lefty and Jeremy brothers. We're not brothers. The Lefty and Jeremy pals. Doesn't sound catchy enough. Lefty's Construction? Forget the name. We'll figure it out. But the important part is that these things aren't being done by Fazbear. And when people come in and they want to start a business, they have to do all that work by themselves. We should establish a place, a company that can help these people start their own way. Because imagine when you came in. Sure, you had John, but everything else you had to do yourself. And even when it was done, it wasn't done right. With me and you, we know these restaurants will get built. There won't be any code violations. They will be up to standard. And when other people come in who want to invest in the company, especially after this expo happens, we could pull in some extra money. And if it gets big enough, Fazbear will come to us. And that's big bucks. What stops me from doing the idea without you? Shit. Guess it kind of relies on me thinking you're a decent person. Well, put me in a hard space. It's a good idea. But I think you got too many rabbits in one basket. Isn't the expression eggs? Yeah, but rings true just the same. I'll follow you through with the restaurants being built and I'll help any way I can. But this future venture of yours, if that is something you want to do, you might need to do it yourself. Because if it doesn't work out and Fazbear doesn't use you, you just have a sinking pile of debt. And I don't invest in debt. I invest in good people. That's why I'm investing in you. I think that you can do good things. Wait till your 68 restaurants open up, and if they start doing well, then establish the business. But if I don't establish the business, I'll lose money. Sometimes you gotta lose money to grow. Don't worry. You're a great entrepreneur too. I'll make sure the produce gets delivered in a month. The other restaurants are soon to follow behind him, aren't they? Yeah, after the test launch, the rest should be ready. Probably in 6 months or so, all of them should be open. Then let's get those locations marked and have those deliveries ready. If it did happen, yeah, we could build restaurants for anybody, right? Well, it doesn't have to just be for Fazbear. Well, that's where I thought the money would be. Well, you're thinking too narrow-minded. There's plenty of companies who need restaurants built. And if Fazbear just wants to buy up old dying locations, then they'll die along with them. Huh. Not a bad idea. I'll keep it in the back pocket. Talk to me once you develop something first, okay? Like a name. And a split of the equity. The fuck's equity? Alright, this is what equity is, kids. I'm gonna draw it on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy left. That's Jeremy. He's like my friend.
Ah.
Should I
It was nice
explain the
meeting him.
pyramid?
Sure.
I was gonna tell you about equity. It can wait. I was gonna use a pizza metaphor. Anyway, the top of the pyramid is Spring Bonnie. He is the smartest person I have ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Below that, technically, would be Mr. Afton, but he's lower. Michael would be after Spring Bonnie. Why is he after me?
Isn't he the CEO?
Well, I mean, I don't think he's smarter than you, but he's definitely my boss. He's not your boss. In a round way, maybe. As long as he's lower than me. Then I would say Jeremy. Then Elliot. There was this lady called Vanessa there one time. Haven't seen him in a bit.
Oh.
There used to be a bearded guy, but he got mad and left.
Uh-huh.
Then Mr. Afton. Then me.
Oh.
And then the receptionist I met. And then right here is you. But underneath all of that is all the other people.
I guess that makes sense.
They don't know any of the people.
Yeah, I don't know.
When you do a pyramid, you got to have a frame of reference from why the things are here. The reason he puts me so highly is because I do most of his paperwork because he doesn't like doing it. Secondly, Michael would be a great second choice since he has a majority vote on how decisions get made at the company. But we usually do voting sessions, so everyone on that side of the pyramid is kind of equal. Huh. I'm learning so much.
Oh. You didn't know it?
I don't know a lot of shit.
You know, that's fair. I don't know much either.
Then let's listen to the smart man.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I'm going to explain equity real quick. Does anyone got a dime?
I don't keep change on me.
Do you have a dime, Lefty? I have a dime of something, but you can't have it. God damn it. I'll go get a deck of cards. Oh, he's going to give the share speech. Oh, I get it.
The share
speech? Our company is usually divided into like 100 shares or 100% equity, right? And then those equity pieces can be split up. But if you have 51%, you have a majority say of what happens in the company. And you kind of are like the big boss man of the company. Sometimes people can be voted in if the shares are dispersed and the company appoints one. Usually they'll have a head of the board. And then If a company split up equally, the choices had to be unanimous or voted on.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Man, oh, well, when he gets here, act super excited about it because he loves doing the card thing.
All right.
He loves it, okay? So just let him
Mm-hmm.
do it. Want some weed? You're not a
No,
cop, are you?
I'm not a cop.
Seems like a cop answer.
It's an honest answer.
Well, I'm gonna smoke.
All right. That's fine.
Gonna start calling you Narc instead of Jade.
Why?
Someone offers you weed and I'm gonna take a joint? Jesus.
Okay.
Where are my rolling papers? That's chalk. Do you have any papers on? Oh, forgot. Narc.
I'm not a... Okay.
Man, they don't even smoke weed? Man, my judgment must have been... Then why am I using the weed analogy? I gotta figure out what they like. After I get the joint. Oh, there's one.